Yes, this is my first PPA commentating experience, and I'm so excited to be here with all the top players in one spot. And I think this first round matchup is just a testament to the size of the draw, how many great players have been coming into this game. We have Rafa Hewett, Zane Navratil, commonly a quarterfinal, semifinal matchup. We have it right here in the first round, Cameron. This is very, very exciting stuff.
It's wild. I mean, you mentioned the Rafa Hewett, Zane Navratil. That's going to be here on Championship Court to get our morning started. But even when you look through some of the numbers, 56 men in the qualifier playing for 8 total spots into that main draw. That happened this morning, starting in the wee hours here in Florida. So some deadly play had already taken place to this point. But this is a first round match that you definitely had circled on the draw. I mean, Rafa Hewett, we know he's the southpaw, the lefty. He loves the inside out, loves to work around to that forehand side. But these two know each other's game really well. What are some of the challenges when you faced off against somebody like that before?
Yeah, so I've played both of these players before, and I think the big thing for me is that the two-handed backhands combined with the forehands, so hard to pick a spot. There you go. There's the backhand right there on the first point from Zane Navratil. There's just not a lot of spots to go. No weak wings, maybe favoring the forehand a little bit. But when you have no spots to go, you really have to hit quality shots. Otherwise, your opponent is going to be all over it.
And right on the dot again, Rafa Hewett's just looking over at Zane going, what are you doing this morning?
Oh, I think you made a little comment over there, too. The boys are having a little fun out there. He does that a few more times, my goodness.
We do play 2 out of 3 games to 11, and Zane is hitting his spots with that two-handed backhand.
My goodness. So that's 2 up the line, 1 cross court, and an absolutely the same backswing on all 3 of those shots. No way to read it.
Point.
Wow.
And that ball just didn't bounce.
I mean, and that was not only topspin, but side spin with that new Pro XR paddle. Rafa thought he was in good position with his feet, but that ball just took off on him.
4-0.
So Zane Navratil out to a quick start in game 1.
Point.
Crisp with the groundies right now from Zane.
The groundies.
The groundies.
I missed you, Adam.
I mean, if they're crisp, they're crisp. Well, I mean, what can you say about it?
And even that was spot on from Zane.
With the tomahawk. And you can see, I know a lot of players, when we had those changes in the service rules, with Zane being one of the best spin serve players, this guy's got a lot of game all over the court. That serve was just a part of his repertoire.
And that's the first miss we've seen from Zane. Rafa's got to be saying, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, often we have one shot where you have to tip your cap to your opponent. It was 6 in a row for Rafa to start this match.
Not much you can do.
Point.
There you go. And there's that inside-out forehand that you brought up earlier, Cameron. One of the favorite shots of Rafa Hewett. Nothing Zane can do.
These two have faced off against one another 5 total times. Nice volley there from Zane Navratil.
Yes, very crisp. One of the better slice backhand volleys in the game. You know, we think of J.W. Johnson a little bit when we think of a slice backhand, but Zane has a very, very nice slice, and he can cut it short into the court as well. Very effective in singles. Just wide, great pressure from Zane from the kitchen line. Rafa Hewett able to get 3 or 4 back, but
7-1.
just wide on the return attempt from Rafa Hewett, and he is going to take a, I would say quick timeout, but it's already 7-1, Cameron.
Make it 8-1 at this point. Rafa Hewett has got to figure out a way to slow down Zane Navratil. Wow. I'm impressed with Zane right now, coming out the gates firing. He's looking to make some moves here at the Red Clay Hot Sauce Florida Open. The Wisconsin native coming out, all cylinders firing. 8-1 for Zane Navratil. Make it 9-1.
On fire. I saw a little clip from him the other day, And this, he says that he loves white girl stuff. He likes Starbucks, he likes hot yoga, and he likes cycling classes, and they are working. They are working right here, right now for Zane Navratil.
It's true. I actually have a quote from him saying the same thing. It's like, I just like all the basic stuff.
I mean, the man likes what he likes, right, Cameron? Great two-handed backhand from Rafa Hewett.
Side out.
He's gonna need a couple more of those, but hey, even if he doesn't catch this first game, getting some momentum and some crisp shots moving into game 2 can really help Rafa.
I think he talked about white mocha frappuccinos. Sorry, I'm still stuck on that.
No, yeah.
I've never said that on air, but I'm glad that only you could, Adam.
No, I can pull that. It's like Zoolander, orange mocha frappuccino. That's so good. Zane.
9-1 for Zane Navratil. Even his serve is on.
I mean, I'm just not. Yeah, you just have to tip your cap. I'm not sure what Rafa can do right now. You can even see Zane kind of chatting with Rafa as Rafa's exclaiming, "What can I do?" And what you can do is get ready for game 2. I think Cameron is the situation right now.
Even on the outstretched arm, moving the opposite direction. Zane Navratil finds the 11th. What a game.
What a game. Yeah, that's all you can say is what a game.
In under 9 minutes. We got on air at 11 Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. It is now 11:09. Zane Navratil just on an absolute streak through game number 1. He's looking comfortable.
Yeah, should be.
All right, well, let's see if he can continue the trek into game number 2. That man is looking awfully relaxed. So genuinely speaking, I know it's tough when you're facing opponents that is hitting every single one of their spots, but for Rafa, what can he focus on in game 2 after this point?
Just start off focusing on those early shots, the serve and the return, and try to gain a little bit of court positioning advantage and try to get Zane maybe on his back foot a little bit as opposed to stepping into all of his shots. Zane chatting with our head ref, Diane Anderson, right now. Not exactly sure what about. And as we saw our second ref, Kathy Gross, step into the screen as well. Just want to give them a shout out, doing a great job out there. There it is, and these are definitely not controlled dink and dunk, set up the point type players. These are grip it and rip it, both of them with their big ground strokes on both sides. So there really could be a flip here, and Rafa could get hot at any moment. So 11-1, you know, pretty rough score, but I think that with Rafa's game style, that he could get right back in the mix.
0-2. Point.
Yeah, that was an incredibly deep serve with shape and spin from Zane Navratil, handcuffing Rafa Hewett. So loose forehand and then a missed return from Rafa Hewett. He's got to get something going here.
Point.
Interesting, Zane choosing to stay back. I believe that's the first time we've seen it this game. He does have the ground strokes to do so, but you can see he is a little rattled and trying to figure out a strategy that can get him back into this match.
2-2.
2 apiece now. Whoa, and Zane smiles as that ball just gets called out of bounds.
Right.
But that's one of my favorite, are some of these shots just with his wrist really outstretched from Rafa Hewett that he's completely capable of.
I know we've seen it before, many times.
Especially off the volley.
Just a little tidbit here. I believe we have Rafa Hewett playing with the Adidas paddle. I have not seen that. He has been playing with the Yola a couple previous tournaments, so maybe a new partnership possibly brewing for Rafa Hewett.
I didn't even know Adidas made a paddle.
Well, they do.
Point.
Great shape from Zane Navratil. Back 4 or 5 years ago when I was playing singles, lots of hard, low over the net serves. Now, really lots of shape, lots of spin, lots of net clearance and depth. So different ball trajectory on these serves, and With that spin and that height over the net and really that good shape makes it very tough to get a deep return back.
It's interesting because you think as this rally goes on, if you think about a Ben John serve, it's still rather flat and deep. He still has plenty of topspin, but it's definitely a different trajectory than what you're seeing from Zane Navratil. He's talked about recently, too, on the Pickle Pod about how he's experimenting with some new serves. We, of course, remember the chainsaw serve and what that did in terms of the destruction, but curious to see what he's got in the arsenal now.
Yeah, another example of that is Tyson McGuffin. When I first came in, it was more low penetrating shot, and he has really developed a lot of shape in the last few years, and I know that's been a point of emphasis for him. Serves and returns just absolutely crucial in singles. Not that they aren't very important in doubles as well, but absolutely the bread and butter of your game. Very short points out here, and if your serve and your return are not on point, you're going to be in trouble.
9-2.
See Rafa Hewett trying to go for it. At this point, that's all you really can do.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a surprising development.
Point game match, 11-2. Navratil.
Doesn't look like he's getting the clean contact that he was hoping for here in this game number 2 versus Zane Navratil, who takes down Rafa Hewett very quickly and spins that out. So Zane Navratil moving on, playing some really clean, good pickleball here at the Carvana PPA Tour. The Red Clay Hot Sauce Florida Open.